Hello guys, the coin here. This is the second live stream that I'm making because once again I forgot to turn on my audio here, but I put that together again. So I like the title in this YouTube in this live stream says, you know, I found another Great Depression chart here. So this is from Crypto Whale, trader and an investor on Twitter, and he has been. I believe it was actually about 10 hours ago that he found this chart as well. I was actually expecting for him to find this chart, because once again, not just leaving the chart aside, there's so many similarities, what we're living right now. So basically the powers that be closed the economy during 2.5 and 3 months, and you just take a look at the stock market and everything that is going on, and nothing reflects reality. So basically the world economy is in the gutter. It's done. It's basically done, right? And the stock market, after this initial dump here, which I believe when this already came down, we were already in a worldwide lockdown. So what did happen in the meantime? While we were here while we were all in lockdown, the stock market just recovered like nothing fucking happened. They ignored everything. Everybody ignored anything, Everybody was about the lockdown to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus, and everybody forgot the economy. That's the most incredible thing. And once again, when this lockdown happened, and I started to understand in the first or second week, I started to think to myself, but wait a minute, so they closed the world economy down, right? It's going to have repercussions in the future, right? And everybody forgot about it, Even in the middle of the lockdown, nobody talked about economics, nobody talked about anything. Nobody talked about the consequences that this all brought about, And yeah, while we were all in lockdown, like we can see here in the chart, the stock market went up again. A recovery where the world fucking economy is shut down, and the stock market is making a recovery when basically I believe mostly about 50% of the economy was shut down, and the stock market goes up. What the fuck is this shit, man? What the fuck is this shit, guys? So once again, man, this is going to end badly. I've talked about it, The economic news are not good. But the stock markets, once again, the stock market is just ignoring what is happening in reality. Millions of people, got canned from the workforce. Some are still in, what do they call it, in layoff or whatever. Most of the jobs are gone. Small and medium businesses are basically done. That's the reality of all this shit. But the stock markets, it's just like nothing happened. Once again, like in the Great Depression, the Great Depression, it was the same thing. But every economist is talking about that what we're living right now is much way worse than what happened in the Great Depression, right? So all this bullshit that we see here, that we saw in 1929 and 2020, this has nothing to do with fundamentals. Because if this had anything to do with fundamentals, everybody on Wall Street and the traders and everything else would be realizing we just closed the fucking economy for about 2.5 to 3 months. So they actually in their delusional minds, they actually believe that the economy is going to recover in about 6 to 12 months. Look, this is fucking insane. But once again, This is about human emotions. This is what human emotions do. It's not rational. The markets are not rational. And once again, people will get burned, and even the people in crypto. People actually believe that the Bitcoin and altcoin season has started, because many altcoins have started to gain traction again. But this will be very short-lived, guys. This is the final pump. This is the final pump in the altcoin and cryptocurrency market. This is the final pump before it comes all to hell, because people have to understand something. And I have been watching the charts. When this unfolds here, when this continuation to the downtrend, and once again, we were going to see a lot lower prices in the stock market, in cryptocurrency, in silver and gold, in the euro, because unfortunately everything is digital. Everything is traded on a digital platform. So when the stock market starts to unfold again, everything else will be dragged with it. People are actually believing there is a hedge with gold and silver. Yes, there is a hedge, but by owning the physical stuff, not stocks or ETFs or CFDs or whatever, man. If you want to have gold and silver, own the physical stuff, man, because in the end, and we already started to see what happened. Gold, silver was not available for a long time after we dumped to these levels here, and silver got to the $12 level, right? People are not going to be able to buy gold and silver, as the stock market is going down, and as the gold and silver price quoted on the comics, they might be going much lower, but this will not reflect the reality of the value of these metals, because eventually that's what will happen. People believe right now that gold and silver are a hedge in the stock market, owning the paper stuff. But if you own precious metal, physical precious metal, then you will be better off. But owning a stock or owning an ETF or whatever, man, it's bullshit, man. Because it's look, guys, this is the bubble of all bubbles, man. This is going to burst. The housing market is going crazy again with high prices. When once again the economies are going down, businesses are going bankrupt. Layoffs and restructuration of businesses and industries. This is not going to end well. Not even the companies that are doing well, they won't be doing well for a while, or they will start to do very badly here. I don't know for how long or when this will all set in, but it's not going to end well, guys. And people have to realize that this is not a fucking hiccup, because unlike the Great Depression here, there was a lot of problems in the beginning of the Great Depression. They never shut down the economy, right? It never happened in world history, at least as far as I can find. Nobody shut anything down, not even in World War or the World Wars or Vietnam Wars or whatever war mankind was involved in. Nobody shut the economy down for nothing, right? We really believe that this pandemic is really that bad, man? Are you still seeing people dropping dead on the street? I haven't found that. I'm not seeing people dropping dead on the street. But in the times of the plague, the Black Plague, man, people were dropping dead on the streets by the thousands, and people had to pick them up. People had to pick them up and bury them or burn them, right? And even from the records that are still around, nobody stopped anything because once again the dead had to be buried or burned. The doctors were still around, and this was really a very infectious disease, man. Millions of people died from the Black Plague here in Europe, right? And as far as I understand, as far as documents that have survived, according to doctors and stuff like that, nobody shut the economy down. And yet, nobody's dropping dead in the street, and everybody shuts the economy down. Do you really believe that this is a coincidence? Look, people have to realize that this, once again, this is all crap. This is all bullshit. They are preparing us. They are preparing us for the Great Reset. The IMF has been talking about it. The World Economic Center has been talking about it. Right? They all have been talking about the Great Reset. And yes, I saw some new news in here. So the Great Reset after COVID-19 must put people first. So this was the news back in the day that I found this here. So collective action, what university entrepreneurship can bring, the Great Reset. So everybody's talking about the Great Reset, right? June 28th, but I think it was yesterday or after yesterday that I saw some new news regarding the Great Reset here. Because if people actually believe that this is going to be a good thing, it's not going to be a good thing. It's going to be very bad. Very, very bad. Look here the World Economic Forum. This was a spot, an ad or whatever that they made. Here, the Great Reset. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. That's what they want, guys. This is the final step for the enslavement, guys. They're going to surveil us. They're going to tell us that if we want to go back to our lives, we need vaccinations. And yeah, we're starting. We will be starting to get repopulated. They are actually planning for us to get repopulated in great metropolitan areas. Remember the great the empty cities in China. That's what it's all about, you know. I didn't know why they were building so much and leaving these cities, you know, these big cities, you know, without nobody. And now I'm starting to understand why. Because they want to repopulate here. They want to claim the most important land for themselves, and they want us to bring into great metropolitan cities, you know. They don't want us in the country. They don't want us there. They all want us. They will repopulate all the population into the big cities. That's what they want. If you don't know about this, just read about Agenda 2021 to 2030, Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030. And yeah, that's what it's all about, guys. Here, once again, prepare for the Great Reset 2021. Because that's it looks like they're really aiming for 2021 to bring it on. So I believe that they will let the economy crash. They will let the stock market crash because that's all part of the plan. And then after everything is in shambles, you know, the real economy is already in shambles. Yeah, then they push the button here. They push the Great Reset button. By then they will already have the one world currency that they want to employ. I don't believe it has anything to do with any of the cryptocurrency that we have. And once again, because of all these reasons, you know, because of all all of this and all this planning that is actually going on, man, if people actually still believe that cryptocurrency is going to succeed, Bitcoin or whatever crypto is going to be left after this, they're just eluding themselves. Because they're preparing the world. So if they're preparing the world for all this, although even crypto is pumping, they will dump it. Crypto will dump as everything else, as the stock market, as the gold and silver, at least in the paper market, because once again, if you own any of these assets, gold and silver, you will be better off. And as long as this doesn't happen, you will be better off with US dollars, because eventually down the line, at the end of the year, if this all gets unfolded in here, they're going to inflate the currency, and people have to take that into perspective. They have been planning for this. Look, the IMF is talking about this. The IMF is loaning money to troubled countries again. I guess Egypt is one of them. They're already starting to talk about Lebanon. Lebanon needs help as well, financial help as well. Although the IMF is not helping anybody because they're still taking the percentage gains, the ROIs, or the TAGs, or whatever you want to call it, So if anybody believes that cryptocurrency are going to succeed in the middle of all this, they're just fooling themselves, guys. It's not going to happen because this is part of the plan. They're just inflating the stock market. They created, I believe, the last altcoin run, right? And then after this, in 2020, they're going for the Great Reset. So it doesn't matter by then if you have Bitcoin or any kind of cryptocurrency, because it will be decimated in the end. It will be decimated because they don't want anybody to have cryptocurrency. The only cryptocurrency that they want you to own or to have is the one that they choose in the end. They're already talking about, and it looks like the Fedcoin is already around, although it has been put on hold for whatever reason. But besides this, maybe Ethereum. Maybe Ethereum will be the one, because Ethereum has been working on a tracing app and a tracing technology, that can trace everything inside your body, Ethereum and Microsoft, Bill Gates, once again, Bill Gates, the Rockefellers, they all are the great pushes for all the shit. And Ethereum is actually working on a contact tracing app. They want to know everything about you. They want to know where you are, what you're doing. They want to know what your body is doing. They want to check what your body is doing, and that's part of all this plan. And once again, guys, the other cryptocurrencies, maybe Ethereum will be the chosen one. If not Ethereum, they're going for the Fedcoin or whatever that is already out there, but they're just waiting. They're just waiting. But this is not going to happen, guys. They will not. Once again, if we let them, right? If we let them, we're done. If we let them, then we're done. But here, let's just take a look at the Great Reset spot, or promo, or whatever. Yeah. Everybody using the mask, or challenges are greater. Our fragility is exposed. Our systems need a reset, right? Our systems. What systems are they talking about? Every system. Look, currency, everything. Everything, guys. Everything. And they're going to do this. It's incredible, man. I talk about this stuff, and this coming from the World Economic Forum and the IMF, and people actually believe that I'm talking about conspiracy theories. Look, it's at plain view. Only the blind won't see what this is all about, guys. They want to take all the resources for themselves, and they're going to repopulate us into big metropolitan areas. That's what it's all about. Once again, all you have to do is listen, is take a look at what Agenda 21, Agenda 2021 and Agenda 2030 is. That's what it's all about, guys. Look, this is in plain sight. That's what they want to do. They want to do the Great Reset. They want to take everybody's wealth, everybody's stuff, But people still, it's like, whatever, man. Whatever, man. Man, it's really incredible, man. People are still a fucking asleep, man. And once again, if the way that the situations in the world are, I'm not seeing any alternative, because everybody is basically asleep. Our rights are gone, because the bottom line is, like George Carlin said, we don't have rights. We have privileges, temporary privileges, or an idea. We don't really have rights, right? This is just an idea. And temporary privileges, like we can see now, looks like a year ago in December we had our privileges. Now our privileges are gone, and if they will succeed, we will never get these privileges back, But yeah, people need to start to wake the fuck up, man. This is all part of the plan, the pandemic stuff. The economy is going to crash. All you have to do is just take a look at everything that they're talking about here. Everything that they're talking about here. What is the Great Reset all about? Take a look. Shaping the economic recovery, redesigning social contracts, skills and jobs, restoring the health and environment, development, sustainability business models, revitalizing the economy, strengthening regional development, harnessing the fourth industrial revolution. Look, this package looks great and beautiful, right? But it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. And once again, take a look. Take a look at what these so-called leaders talk about. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. That's what they want, guys. They're going to crash everything. The economy is done. Now they're going to crash the economy, the stock markets, and then after it's all said and done in 2021, they're going to tell us that we need to change our systems, right? We need to change everything. Here, take a look. Now is the time to press the reset button on capitalism. Look at the imagery here. This moment calls for the Great Reset. See what's in here. How new ways of living and working drive post-crash prosperity, right? Post-crash prosperity. It's all been in the works, man. It's all been in the works. They know how this ends, and I know how this ends. This is going to end with a big crash, right? Great Depression style, and people still don't believe it. Look at the imagery. This is coming from the same sources, the IMF, the World Economic Forum. Look who the people are involved in this. Goldman Sachs, Insights, the Great Reset. Let me see if let me see here if we find here a little bit of more information. Yeah, so let's see what Goldman Sachs is talking about in the Great Recession. So, a framework for investing after COVID-19. How should investors think about investing after COVID-19? Are companies well positioned to create real value and develop more resilient supply and distribution systems? Will the markets embrace imminent disruption across industries and newly created opportunities? In this report, Goldman Sachs Research explores these topics and provides a framework for the post-COVID-19 investing environment across three phases: preservation, consolidation, and innovation that capture the structural dynamics of the competitive environment. The paper also reviews four key themes: resiliency, sticky learning, risk-based market segmentation, and regulatory resets, right? Regulatory resets. What do you believe these resets will be all about? It will be about the economy. It will be about the currency. It will be about how we do business. Everything is going to change if they come through with the shit, right? That are likely to drive change across those phases in the post-COVID-19 environment. In the absence of a greater medical and legal certainty, navigating the businesses and investing landscape post-COVID-19 will require a deeper understanding of the complex and shifting currents of changes and the structure within which they are occurring. Right? So they're going to let this play out. They're going to continue to tell us that COVID-19 is a deadly disease, that everybody needs to stay at home. So basically they're destroying. Their plan is to continue to destroy the world economy, the real economy, and in the meanwhile, they're going for phase two. They're going to destroy the stock market as well, right? Do you really believe it was a coincidence that between 1929 and 1932 the stock market dropped so much? That was part of the plan as well, right? And now they're doing it again. People need to start to wake the fuck up. This is the worst thing that can happen to us. Let's see what Blogs Gartner is actually saying about the Great Retail Reset activity. So that's what they are. That's I have to take a look at these graphs. Respond, right? Respond. This must be about the COVID-19. Respond. We're going to dump, recover, renew. It's going to take time, right? The Great Retail Reset. Although if they're going to put this into place next year, let's see what do we have more here. The big slump in unemployment. Oh, you can bet on it. What could go wrong? Advancing time. The Great Reset, long overdue, may now have arrived. Right? Here once again the chart. 1929 to 1931. Everything is going to the gutter, guys. That's at least what they're counting on. They know it's coming. The stock market, it's just a matter of time that is going to crash, It's just a matter of time. So let me check here in this graph here. Let me just take a look at this picture here. The stealth phase. Smart money, take off. Institutional investors, first sell-off, bear trap. I believe this happened in between 2008 and 2010, right? Remember 2008 when we kind of had the crash? This comes to this area here, and then after that It has been all great and beautiful, right? We topped out this year. We find our we found our first bottom, the first crash, and now we are here. Return to normal. But only moron and people that don't look at the world believe that this is the new normal, that everything is going to be fine. It's bullshit, guys. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, guys. It's going to hurt. It's going to be very bad. Let's see what they have to say here. Have we entered the period that may someday be referred to as the Great Reset? Have we started a major reset of asset valuations, and if so, how might this unfold? So far, the market is more concerned, and no panic has surfaced, but some of us see this as a period where after decades of modern monetary theory, the world reverts back to tried and true. Look, we are here. The return to normal. Or many people believe it is, you know. Many people believe it is. That's basically what happened in 1929, and we're kind of seeing the same thing. We had the top here. We crashed in March, right? Now we're going back up, and people actually believe. And I've seen many investors, you know. Once again, I actually listened to a guy that, you know, I'm not doubting about his technical analysis, because it looks like he has been in the market for 30 years, you know. But what he's saying is that the stock market is going higher again. The S&P, the Dow Jones, everything else is going higher for the next 4 to 7 months. Do you really believe this? You know, according to some indicators that he's seeing on charts and stuff like that. And once again, although he is aware that you know, this is also a smokescreen, you know, although he is aware of that, he's trusting his indicators. That the indicators are telling him that the stock market is going much higher. Is going much higher for the next 5 to 6 or 7 months, man. I really can't believe that, because once again, our economy hasn't recovered. You know, the quarterly results will be only announced in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you know, companies will announce the results for Q1 or for Q2 for the second quarter. And everybody really believes that is going to end well. When these people are talking about this shit, they know about it. They know about it, you know. They know that it's going to crash. They are responsible for the crash. It was them. It was the WHO. It was the world governments that shut the economy down. And that's why we are in the shit that we are. It's not because of the coronavirus. The coronavirus doesn't put people out of jobs, right? The coronavirus is not responsible for shutting countries down. It's just a fucking flu, man. It's a flu. And these motherfuckers, you know, they knew about this. They knew about this, and they orchestrated all this. Once again, where in world history have you ever seen almost the entire world, you know, going into lockdown, shutting the economy down? We never seen this before, man, and we're not going to recover from this. Once again, the Great Depression was bad. This is way worse, man. They never shut the economy down. There was a lot of unemployment, you know. Unfortunately, because of this event, because these stupid asses, or these paid asses that were paid to do this, because once again, this was an orchestration. This is a conspiracy, or whatever you want to call it. This is a conspiracy. Because it happened worldwide. It happened worldwide. Right? So if people actually believe this is going to be, everything is going to be fine and nothing will happen of this, it's bullshit, people. It's fucking bullshit, man. But people don't want to understand this stuff. Look, like I said, man, if people are still focusing on the COVID, man, and once again, man, I showed this before. I showed this before. I showed this before. Look. Take a look at this. This is from the American Medical Association. This American Medical Association encyclopedia was published in the 1980s. Right? In the 1980s. And what do they call and what do they call let's see where it is. What is the coronavirus or coronaviruses? A common cold. It's the flu. Of course you're going to see news article, debunking all this shit. Look, this is in the 1984 encyclopedia. So if they're talking about COVID-19 or coronavirus, it's a string, right? It's a string of the coronavirus. It might be another string. It might be worse. It might not be worse. It's just another string of the common cold, people. And people are still going nuts about this shit. It is incredible. It's bullshit, people. And people need to start to wake the fuck up to the reality of this shit, man. Common cold. Common cold here, right? Come on, man. But people don't think, and people react to stupid shit and stupid shit and stupid fuck. That's what people do here, man. Once again, man, nobody's dying in the streets. The so-called people that are supposed to be dying from coronaviruses are dying from other underlying diseases, man. Even the 5G radiation is proved to create symptoms like the flu. But people are still believing in this bullshit. Look, masks are useless. Masks don't work. Masks are actually bad for you because you're not intaking the oxygen that you took. You're taking the CO2 that you should be breathing out. Do you really believe that this is a healthy thing for you? Depriving yourself of the richness of the oxygen that you used to take in, and you're reducing that by using a fucking mask. Man, look, it's really hard, it's really hard to continue to talk about this stuff because people are still blind as fuck, man. The coronaviruses have been around for a long time, and it's called a common cold. This is from the American Medical Association encyclopedia, man. Coronavirus is common cold. Look, Encyclopedia of Medicine, 1989. If this is a new string of the coronavirus, it might be a little bit worse of a string. It might be a little worse, but it's just a fucking cold. What the fuck, man? People are, oh man. Look, no, I'm starting to get upset about this shit because I'm tired, man. I'm tired that I have to leave the fucking house here to put a fucking mask on for nothing. For nothing, man. I'm starting to get the fuck upset with this shit. Right? They created all this bullshit here, and now, once again, the privileges that we thought that were our rights, they're gone. Now we can't go back to our lives, and now they're going to destroy our lives. They already destroyed the economy. So now they're going to destroy the rest of the economy, the stock market, the businesses, everything like that. Everything is going to hell, guys. Everything is going to fucking hell. And in the end of the day, in 2021, we will have the Great Reset, where they will tell us where they will put us. They will tell us what to do, where to work on, what we think, what kind of currency that we will have. That's the reality of this shit, man. That's the reality of this shit. And people still, yeah, oh, a lot of conspiracies. Sometimes I try to talk to people, even in forums and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of people that follow me are into Alex Jones. What the fuck, man? What fucking Alex Jones? What fucking Alex Jones? All you have to do is to look back at what I'm talking about. The Great Reset. The IMF is pushing this shit. The World Economic Forum is pushing this shit. This is not conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy fact. And this corona lockdown that we had, this is a conspiracy, man. The world leaders or the people that are above them conspired against us. They shut the economy down. Now we're in shit. And they're saying that we're not going to recover and that we have to live with the virus forever. We can never go to our lives again unless they create the Great Reset. Right? Look at all the stickers here. Prepare for the Great Reset of 2021. The world versus virus. Look at the buttons here, the buttons that they're pushing here. The Great Reset, the button. Look, take a look. The moment calls for the Great Reset. That's what the coronavirus and stuff like that, or the COVID-19 pandemic or whatever, that the Hopkins Center and the Bill Gates Foundation and the World Economic Forum, that was the exercise that we're doing last year on October. Look where we're at now. They were talking about this shit. Back then it was an exercise. Now it's supposed to be real, right? 3 months after that, this is all part of the agenda, guys. This is where it's going to end. They destroyed the economy. Now they're going to destroy the rest of the big businesses, you know, because many businesses will go belly up. You know, maybe Google, Amazon, and a couple of others will survive and maybe take over the others, you know. But the rest of them, it's going to fuck down. The airline industries, look, the airline companies, they're losing money. It's not. There is no way that the airlines are going to come back with all these restrictions for people to travel. Most of the people don't even want to leave their country and go to other places with all the shit that they're putting people into. With the 15 days quarantine and stuff like that. Take a look at Portugal, where I live. You know, Portugal is blacklisted. From most of the country. So it's blacklisted from the UK. Holland, I guess, is blacklisting Portugal as well. So our economy is done. You know, the term is industry, which, you know, makes creates a lot of money, a lot of GDP in this country. It's done. Because supposedly nobody wants to come in here because we have a lot of cases. That's what they created, and it's not just here. Take a look at Spain. Take a look at Greece. How the hell are we going to ever recover from this shit with all these measures, man? Businesses and economies are not going to recover, man. Because even the bars, even the pubs, man, if you're limiting people to get into your bar, you know, you're not going to make the money that you made last year. Instead of having a full house, you know, every night, and making the money that you were making last year, you're not going to come back to these numbers, because you're already restricting the people that you're letting into your business. And if I'm saying the pub, I'm saying other businesses as well. But people don't understand this. The economy is done because, you know, they shut down the economy. Now they're coming up with these stupid measures that is going to continue to ruin the world economies, right? And still these stupid people, or some, because even the IMF is talking about, and once again they know about this stuff because they have been planning for this shit. and now they have the cheese and the knife in their hands to do whatever they want. So the final step is to crash the world markets, because we're the world to crash the stock markets. Because once again, people, you have to understand, when the stock market goes down in the United States, it's going down all over the world. So once again, what will happen to the businesses that are quoted on these indices that lose, I don't know, 60, 70, 80%? In the Great Depression, the market lost a total of 89% of its value. The Dow Jones. Imagine that this is going to happen again. 89% of the value, man. It's fucking over, man. It's fucking over. Which company or industry that is listed on the stock market will survive something like that? Only a few. Only a very select few. The rest is going down in flames, man. This is the plan. This is the final step, So they already ruined the economy, right? So they ruined the economy. Now they're going to finish the stock market. They're going to finish most of the businesses, most of the companies. They're going to finish them, so that they can prepare us for the Great Reset. And why? Because after it's all said and done, government, we need help. Mr. President, we need help. Prime Minister, we need help. Our economy and everything is in the shambles, and we need you to lead us. And that's where they will come in, and they will lead us. They will lead us with pleasure. They created the problem, and now they're applying the solution. That's what it's all about. Look, man, it's over, man. It's over. And so it's over. The Great Reset is coming. They're going to crash every fucking thing. They're going to crash everything. Not even the banks will survive. Look, once again, just take a look at what I'm talking about. Take a look at the Great Reset that the IMF and the World Economic Forum is talking about. They're going to crash everything. They know that the economy is down. They know that the stock market is going to crash. And the fake money that they're injecting, this is all part of the game, man. It's going to dump soon. I don't know, maybe still this month or next month. We're going to continue to go lower, man. After it's all said and done, when we are in November, December, we will be completely fucked. We will be completely fucked, because if they're talking about that the Great Reset is going to happen in 2021, they're going to let us suffer, because they want us to be begging for them. They want us to beg. They want us to beg to help them out and to come up with a solution. It's going to be a lot of fucking pain, man. Because if this turns out how I believe it will, everything will be disrupted. Transporting industry, where you buy your food, you have to take a look. You have to be careful. You have to plan for it. If there is a shortage of food, if things are not getting in again, because that's basically this kind of crash, and the devaluation of these companies. That's what they're going to do. If they crash everything, it won't be like 1929. Of course, it will be like 1929. In 1929, everybody was on the street, right? Everybody was starving. They didn't have money for nothing. But like I said, the only difference between 1929 and now is that we are all digital, right? We are all digital. Nothing works without a fucking computer. Nothing works without a fucking computer. But still, these people didn't have computers. They still went along, and everything worked on based on stuff that we knew that was going on back then. You know. No, there was no social unrest. Oh, do you really believe that the people that, women, children, and a lot of these people that were on the street, that were starving, that had no place to live, do you really believe that they took that? And there will be no social unrest. There will be no social unrest. And the reason why there will be no social unrest, because they are training us to stay at fucking home. Because nobody is seeing it coming. Nobody is seeing this shit coming. They already have a self-quarantining, right? Social distancing. Everybody is more and more consumed with movies, with games, with gaming, and everything like that. Nobody's paying attention to this. And once again, all they have to do is to say, look, the pandemic is getting worse. We're now seeing billions of cases of COVID-19. You have to continue to stay at home, and most of the people will be willing to stay at home. And that's what will happen, and that's how they will get away with it, because they have to create a diversion for all this. So they're going to confine us again. They're going to tell us that the second wave, they have been talking about the second wave for a while now. But I believe that they will have to implement the second wave sooner than later. Why? Because, like I said, the stock market is on the verge of crashing. So they have to ramp up the numbers. They have to ramp up the death. They have to ramp up. They have to ramp up the infections. And they will do it. They will do that sooner than later. That will be the catalyst for the stock market to crash. In the very near future, they're going to tell us again, oh look, this is getting out of control. What will happen again? Oh yeah, we have to lock down again. People need to stay at home. And people will be willing to stay at fucking home. And that's what will happen. Most of the people, of course, a couple of people will still go out in the streets. Well, the bottom line is, I don't know, man. If this shit happens, I don't know. I really wanted to get the fuck out of here, but the problem is, where the fuck will I go? There is, unfortunately, that's the problem here. There is no fucking escape from the shit that has came. Where do I want to go? To Spain? Spain is the same shit. Italy is the same shit. Germany is the same shit. I believe there still are a couple of countries that don't look. Sweden, I guess, would be a solution. At least in Sweden, they didn't come to all this madness that everyone else is coming to. Sweden doesn't have a lockdown. They didn't shut their economy down. They're still doing about their lives like normal, But unfortunately, even then, I believe that these people will be forced to quarantine as well, because they will continue to spread the fucking fear, because that's what it's all about. They're spreading fear. And look, this is the end game, guys. This is the sad reality of all this shit, man. They're going to crash everything the fuck down so that they can be our saviors in 2021. Social unrest? Where's the social unrest now? The only social unrest that was actually happening was because of a fucking movement, the Black Lives Matter stuff, and because of a supposed black guy was murdered. That was a fucking unrest. Nobody's fucking unresting because the rights are fucking gone. Nobody's talking about this shit, man. Everything is almost normal in New Zealand. Oh, good for you, man. I hope it lasts as well, man. I really hope it lasts. But I wouldn't count on it. But yeah, I guess I rented too much already, so I'm going to shut this stream down. But the businesses are picking up. Everyone that lost their jobs, a lot of people got the subsidy. Oh yeah, basically the same problem. Well, not here in Portugal, because here in Portugal we had a haircut of 30%. No, but once again, you're buying into the bullshit. So So the businesses are picking up. Everyone that lost their jobs, a lot of people got the subsidy. So kind of what they are doing in the United States. But are the businesses really picking up? Are you taking a look at the economic numbers? It's too remote. No, I understand that. The population shouldn't be that big. Um, yeah, but if you are self-sufficient, in that island, you'll be okay. But if you depend on importation, then you will suffer just like everyone else, man. After the after the subsidies run out, that's it. Look, of course they're not going to pay. They're not going to continue to pay. 4 million people, 3 times bigger land than Portugal. Yeah, so you have a lot of agricultural possibilities there. So yeah, man. But it's like I said, man. If you're self-sufficient, you can provide for it for yourselves. But if you're relying on importation of a lot of stuff, I don't know how the import industry. What is the biggest industry in New Zealand? Where do they make the most, or what makes most of the GDP in New Zealand? I guess I'll have to Google it myself. Let me take a look. New Zealand GDP. So New Zealand is GDP, so they make about, this was in 2018, 204.9 billion US dollars. Let's see what their main industries are. At least let's see if I can find out. Tourism. Oh, tourism. Tourism, right? Oh man. Look, we live off tourism as well, and we're in deep fuck. I don't believe that New Zealand will be better off. But let's see. So, New Zealand. Let's see if we have some industry here. So, etymology, history, governments and politics, foreign relations, graphically, environment, climate, biodiversity, economy. Let's take a look at the economy there. So New Zealand has an advanced market economy, ranked 16th in the 2018 Human Development Index of Economic Freedom. Well, I guess this is all gone because of the pandemic, right? It is a high income economy with nominal gross domestic product. Circulating the Cook Islands. Historically, extractive industries have contributed strongly to New Zealand's economy, focusing a different time on sailing, whaling, flax, gold, kauri gum, and native timber. Yeah, they have resources, so New Zealand will not be that worst off. The first shipment of refrigerated meat on the Dunedin in 1882 led the establishment of meat and dairy exports to Britain. So in 2015, renewable energy, electricity supply. Yeah, like I said, it looks like New Zealand can be self-sustainable, and that is the best thing that they have in that regards. So it looks like they have meat. Let's see what trade. New Zealand is heavily here it is. New Zealand is heavily dependent on international trade, particularly in agricultural products. Exports account for 24% of its output, making New Zealand vulnerable to international commodity prices and global economic slowdown. So, yeah, guys, it's not going to end very well for you as well. Food products made up 55% of the value of all the country's exports. In 2014, wood was the second largest earner, 7%. What? Second largest earner, New Zealand and China signed the New Zealand-China Free Trade Agreement, the first such agreement in the country. The service sector is the largest sector in the economy, followed by the total workforce of 2016. International visitors' arrivals are expected to increase at a rate of 5.4% annually up to 2022. Well, you can forget about that. Wool was New Zealand's major agricultural export during the late 19th. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Let me take a look at some economical news about economic news. New Zealand. So, yeah, once again, everybody, it's the same thing, always COVID-19. So, Finance Minister Grant Robertson says the New Zealand economy is coming back quicker than people expected. You know, don't buy into this shit, man. Don't buy into this shit. This is bullshit. They all say the same thing. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. Mueller gives details on National's economic plan. Here, July 7th. Let's see what this says here. Oh. So what does this article says about the economy? Coronavirus. New Zealand records biggest GDP quarterly fall in 29 years, man. Does that look like everything is okay in the country, man? The biggest GDP quarterly fall in 29 years, man. But yeah, everything is fine. Everything is great. Look, continue to buy that rhetoric, man. Everything is fine. They all say the same thing. Everything is fine. Even, yeah, there's even an article here. Let me take a look at Twitter here. Take a look at what happened in the Great Depression, where the markets are going up, and actually everybody believed that everything was doing well here. People are blinded, man. You have to start to wake the fuck up. This is all bullshit, man. It's all fucking bullshit, man. They're going to crash everything down. It doesn't matter where you live. Not really. Maybe a couple of countries, you know, that are detached from this bullshit that we're living here. So this was the chart that I was talking about. So this guy's talking about it as well. Everybody's seeing the signs here. Only people that are kind of blinded, that don't want to see the real deal here. Take a look at this. Take a look at this article. After the first crash in 1929, stock market invincible. Buy. Experts advise. New easy credit delays financial catastrophes until the 1930s. So that's what was their solution. They were delaying everything into the 1930s, right? Yeah, guys. Look, you have to wake the fuck up, man. It's all bullshit, man. The government's still lying to you about the economic recovery. There is no economic recovery, man. The economic recovery is bullshit, man. It's crazy, man. This will have have a bad outcome. I have that prediction too. Yeah. Look, all the countries, although despite of the data, they all saying that the economies are starting to getting into line, to get into. Look, they're not doing that, man. Look, the data. Most of the companies' forecasts and stuff like that, it's all cooked. It's all bullcrap, man. It's all bullcrap. They don't even have the data from last quarter to talk about this shit. So it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit, man. All fucking bullshit. All they do is print, and printing won't help forever. It won't solve anything, guys. It won't solve anything. Absolutely nothing, man. So everything that the government is telling you, that the economy is starting to recover, and stuff like that, it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. All of that is fucking bullshit. All you have to do is to take a look at the data that I was showing you here. Biggest GDP quarterly fall in 30 years. So does it look like everything is going fine? Does it look like everything is alright? It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Here. There isn't even a picture for that. So Table 1, GDP growth rate. So global financial crisis, quarter one. Percentage. Take a look at this. Australia, 3.4%. The global financial crisis of 2008. Quarter one of 2009, 1.6. COVID-19 pandemic quarter one, 1.7. COVID-19 pandemic quarter 1 2019. There was no fucking pandemic in 2019. What the fuck are these guys talking about? So this is 2020 quarter 1. Do you really believe it's only it's 1.4? That much? Look at China. China was growing 11.5% in quarter 1 of 2008. 2009 they were growing 6.4. In 2019 they're growing 6.4, which I don't believe. So quarter one they are already contracting 6.8%. Look at Japan, 0.03. Quarter one 2009 minus 8.6. Look, these numbers are going to get worse and worse, man. New Zealand, 1.9. Quarter one of 2009, 2.4, minus 2.4. Quarter one of 2019, 3.0. Look, right now it's at minus 0.2. Do you really believe this is done? Look, it's going to be a lot worse than this here, man. Look at the US. In 2008, quarter 1, 1.1. In 2009, minus 3.3. In quarter 1 of 2019, 2.7. Quarter 1 of 2020, 0.03. Wake up, guys. It's over, man. It's over. They played us all, you know. We still have a chance, but it's not staying at our homes, you know, and be willing to do what they're telling us. That's if we stay quiet, we're done. We're going to be enslaved. In 2021, it's over for us. We're going to be enslaved forever. Our children, our grandchildren, everybody will be enslaved forever, because Nobody will ever know, especially the new generations. They will never know what freedoms are all about. They're already starting to burn history down. You know, in the United States, you know, because of the so-called movement that has arrived, that has communist roots and whatever, you know, they're starting to destroy monuments from the United States. They're erasing history from the United States. So I believe that this will also happen all around the world. They will destroy everything that is the notion of freedom, of free thought. They will start to destroy that. That's why there is so much censorship. in all of the media, man. That's what they're going for. They're going to try to destroy history, everything that we have achieved, everything that, or the good things and the bad things, because there has to be both ways about this. But they're starting to do that. They're doing the book burning, like Germany did. But unlike the Germans, the Germans, when they burned their books, it was to burn the filth that was the culture that was in the 1920s in Germany, because Germany was a decadent, especially Berlin. Berlin was so decadent, man. It was all about prostitution. It was all about gay stuff, all about perversions and whatever. The culture was so deprived that Hitler decided to burn all this bullshit, all that crap, that was imposed by the Jews. The Jews owned everything between the 1920s. They owned everything. They owned the theaters, the cinemas, the publishers, radio. They owned everything, and the culture, the culture that they implement in Germany was so decadent that Hitler, when he came to power, he understood what was the downfall of the country, especially in the 1920s, and that's why they burned all that shit. It was about this. It was about all that fucking culture that was bankrupting Germany, morally especially, and economically. That's why the book burning is happening in Germany, because of the corruption of the culture, because of these motherfuckers that were in charge of Germany, man. So that was a reason. But now burning books, or it's kind of a symbol, right? Now they are doing the same thing, but now they have to go further because everything is digital, right? Everything is stored digitally somewhere. So they will have to go to that, and they have to erase it. They have to eradicate it. They have to eradicate all that stuff. Believe me, the censorship is not here because of nothing. Because first, they don't want us to understand what is going on. They don't want us to know what the fuck is going on, man. So, look, these movements that are happening on social media, man, this is absolutely bullshit. So now people have to apologize for what they did when they were younger, man. This is absolute communism, bullshit, man. Or fascism, or whatever you want to call it, man. This fucking culture is infiltrating everybody's mind. You can't even laugh anymore. You can't in the future. You can't even smile or tell a fucking joke. It will be too offensive. It's incredible what is going on with these cancel movements and bullshit, man. All that fucking shit that is actually going on, man. It's all about silencing. It's all about the silence and the shaming. We have to be ashamed for what we did 20 years ago because we were younger and fools. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. As long as you didn't hurt anybody or anybody else, you shouldn't apologize for shit, man. You did your shit, you did your mistakes, and that's over, man. Yeah, man. Look, it's all over the place. It's all over the fucking place. It's on social media. The United States is pushing more and more to go back to socialism. Communism shit. And once again, if these movements and these people that are pushing these agendas, if we comply to all this shit, we're fucking done. That's all I'm saying. Because we don't have to be doomed next year. We don't have. But if we don't rise up against all this shit that is actually going on, we're done, man. We're done. And once again, man, the generations to come, they will be worse off than we are, man. Yeah, man. That's what. Look, everything is happening at the same time. They're going into all the fronts. They already shut down the world economies. Now they're going to shut down everybody's opinions. They don't want people to have opinions. They want obedient people. They want people that don't think for themselves. They want to tell you what to think, and that's what they're doing on social media, especially for the younger generation. They are conditioning you what to think and what to believe, you know. That's the dangers that we're having right now. And once again, if we comply to all this shit, we're done. We're done. This is the point in history where it's all coming together, man. It's right now, man. It's right now. Did you see the stats in Angola? What about the COVID death stuff? I don't know. Let me see. Look, man. Like I said, man, there is no COVID, man. There is just a flu, man. But whatever. People still believe that, you know, COVID is real and stuff and whatever. So let's see what's going on here. Here, must be this here. Angola. So it's kind of here like we are here in Portugal. So everybody is obliged to use a mask, not in the public road. So let's see here what really happened in Angola. Man, I don't want this in Portuguese. What the hell is it? Is they showing this in Portuguese? COVID-19. Come on. This is this what you call a pandemic? COVID-19 registers 33 more cases and 2 new deaths. They really call this a pandemic. Look, it's bullshit. It's propaganda. It is. This fear propaganda that's going around the world. It's propaganda, man. Coronaviruses are flus. From 1989 encyclopedia, man. Coronaviruses are defined as flus. Or a cold, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, but I'm not really seeing here anything out of the ordinary. They're making a lot of tests. Yeah. No, but once again, go up to chat. The numbers have to be fake. They have a lot of subnutrition, a lot of poverty, massive ghettos, and they have in their capital 8 million people. 8 million people in the capital, and they had 400 cases so far. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. It's all about the testings, because all you have to understand this is that the tests that they're doing, they're useless. 80% of false positives. That's why they say that People have the coronavirus although they're not showing any kind of symptom. This is bullshit, man. So basically what this is telling us is that the tests are false positives. They're not to be trusted. And now they're testing people. They're testing more people. That's why the numbers are going up. Because if they weren't testing people, according to what I'm seeing in the news, if they weren't testing people, right? If they weren't testing people, 80% of these false positives were not showing. But now they're showing, man. The tests are useless. Even the guy that invented the test is saying that the test is not good for any kind of of testing, man, because it's unreliable. 80%, man. This is all you have to understand, and look it up. 80% of the tests are false positives. Why? Because the test is not to be trusted. And people still buy into this. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, guys. The test is bullshit. That's why they come up to 80% of the people are asymptomatic. So they are infected, or although they're not showing any symptoms. What the fuck is this? Come on, guys. Think, man. That's not how things work, man. If you are ill, you have to show symptoms, man. Come on. But that's what's going on. That's what I'm seeing here. Here, Angolano government initiates mass testing. Mass testing. So if they're going to implement more testing, more false positives are going to come out. More false positives, man. That's what you have to understand, man. More 33 cases and two new obits. Come on, people. Nobody's dying on the street. If nobody's dying on the street, you can't be talking about a fucking pandemic, and that is the bottom line, man. It's all fucking propaganda and bullshit and more bullshit and bullshit. Bullshit. It's bullshit, guys. Masks are not preventing anything. Masks are bullshit. So, yeah, 11. So, 22 plus 11, 33 cases with ages between 99 and 71. Come on. That's what a flu looks like, right? Do you know how many people get infected with the flu every single year all over the world? 1 billion people get infected with the flu every year, man. And between 230 to 640,000 people die from the influenza seasonal flu, man. And that's what it is. It's a different string, but it's a coronavirus, and a coronavirus is a flu. But people still don't get it, and they're still buying into this shit, man. It's bullshit, man. Because once again, if this is so bad, as they say they are, man, here in the beginning, here in Portugal, where I live, in Coimbra, where I live right now, man, if things would be so bad, I go to the gas station day in, day out to buy tobacco, man. These people would be dead already, or at least very ill. They never had a day off. They're always working. The same thing going to the grocery stores. I frequent the same grocery stores or the same market as I always do, and it's still the same people working there since the beginning of the pandemic until now. None of them were ill. They were always working. Nobody's dying on the fucking street. Nobody's dying on the fucking street. You go outside, everything is fucking normal. What the difference is that you see a bunch of paranoid people, and even now you don't see it. In the beginning you saw it, but now people are kind of, the only reason why we use masks is because we have to. We don't have to use masks if you are outside, but if you want to go to any closed space, if you want to go shopping, buying food and buying whatever, you have to take a fucking mask. Because they made it mandatory, right? But nothing is going on. All they're doing is making the population sick, because masks provoke oxygen-rich deprivation. Besides of other illnesses that it creates if you're continuing to use it. Look, but whatever, man. Yeah, I'm done ranting, man. But I'm really tired of the bullshit and everybody buying into this bullshit, man. Everybody's buying into this shit, man. Yeah. No, but that's what they said, in the beginning of the year, the first mass deaths were in China, they were saying that they were shuffling in dead people all over the place. I don't look. I never saw anything in the news where people were dropping dead in the street, man. Yeah. No, there are people dying, but like I said, man, the people will continue to die. Take a look at these world stats. You know what a real pandemic looks like? Here, I will tell you what a pandemic is. Want to see pandemics here? I will tell you what pandemics are. Want to see pandemics? Here it is. Health. 6 million people had communicable disease death. Global burden of disease. Look, the flu has killed 254.369 people. If you take away these 80% of these false positive tests, you will come to these numbers here, or even less. Look, here is a real pandemic here. Death of children under 5. Almost 4 million children under 5 die every single year. Is this a pandemic? I believe it is. Here, more. Take a look at this number here. 22 million abortions. Wouldn't you call this a pandemic? I would say so. Here, another number here. 161,250,000 deaths of mothers during birth. Isn't this a pandemic? Look at the HIV/AIDS infected people. 41 million people infected with the HIV/AIDS. Isn't this a pandemic? Look at the deaths number. 877,000 people died because of HIV/AIDS this year. A lot higher than the so-called corona bullshit shit. Took a look at deaths caused by cancer. 4 million people died because of cancer this year. Isn't this a pandemic? I think it is. Take a look at how many people died from malaria this year. 511,000 people died because of malaria. Here, 2,600,000 deaths caused by smoking this year. 1,304,000 people deaths caused by alcohol. 559,442 suicides this year. Look, 704,240 road traffic accident fatalities. So you tell me, what the fuck is a pandemic? Is that a pandemic, or is the children under 5 dying? 3 million, almost 4 million children under 5 died this year. What do you call a pandemic? Look, this is bullshit, people. This is bullshit, and people have to wake the fuck up. It's all fucking bullshit. All of this is fucking bullshit, man. Look, most of the hospitals around the world, especially in the United States, they were empty. In the middle of this so-called, when everybody was getting infected. I saw videos from people that were going into the emergency rooms and to the hospitals, where the hospitals were completely empty. There was nobody being treated. Nobody. So the people that they were showing us on mainstream media, that was only for the camera, because in reality nothing was going on. You know what is most upsetting about this? I saw a lot of videos of nurses and doctors actually dancing, like performing some kind of a fucking ritual, like they were mocking us, right? So instead of taking care of the patients, they were dancing. Why the fuck were they dancing? It wasn't just one video. It was it must have been about 4 or 5 videos, from nurses and doctors, dancing like some fucking stupid fools, or they calling us fools, They were. It's like they were mocking us. They were telling us, oh, well, you're afraid, man. We're just kind of mocking you and dancing around, and having fun, while you're at home and you're terrified about the fucking coronavirus. We're just dancing. We're just dancing here. That's what they're telling you, man. The hospitals were most of the hospitals that they were saying that they were in full capacity and that we're not taking people. It was bullshit. It was bullshit. They were all empty, man. Most of the hospitals were empty. Look, you still can find it on YouTube. Just go find them. People, lots of people using their phone cameras, filming all the stuff. They went into the emergency rooms. They went into the hospitals. These tents that were supposed to be full in testing people and stuff like that, they were completely empty. Even here where I live, there was a so-called testing center here in Coimbra as well. I went by there a couple of times. It was completely empty. Nobody was there. A big tent. Nobody was there. Nobody was doing anything, man. And I even went to the hospital to take a look at the emergencies and stuff like that. It was all empty. It was all like normal, man. That is the reality. It's all a fucking script. It's all a fucking script. But unfortunately, I believe that they're going to come up with something bad, man, because unfortunately, I'm convinced that a lot of people will die. I don't know if 5G will be the cause or indirect cause of it, or if they're really going to inject people, especially in the United States. They're kind of testing people, putting cottons on their mouth to taking their DNA, and they could be actually planning about infecting people with some real shit, man, because there's some photo images walking around the internet where these guys that are testing these people, that puts these cottons inside of your nose to take your DNA or whatever, and the bags before opening that up and putting that into the people, it says biohazard. So you're telling me that these objects, these stuff that should be sterilized to test people, they're already infected with something? Look, unfortunately, that's what I'm seeing here. It's not just about the economy and stuff like that. A lot of people will die because they will push a lot of false stuff, and I believe that unfortunately they're going to infect people. They're really going to put something out there that will kill lots more of people. That's what I believe. But let's hope that it doesn't happen. Look, it's better for us to have the economic crash than people dying. But unfortunately, that is part of the agenda as well, because we have to understand, that they want the world population to be at around 500 million people. Like the Georgia Guidestones, right? Georgia Guidestones. Let's put that here again. Georgia Guidestones. Georgia Guidestones, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, man. That's what the Georgia Guidestones are telling us, man. So here it is, the inscriptions. A message consisting of a set of 10 guidelines or principles is engraved on the Georgia Guidestones, kind of like the 10 Commandments, right? In 8 different languages. One language on each face of the 4 upright stones, moving clockwise around the structure from due north. These languages are... So what they're saying here, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, all things things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Right? Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer to the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Look. This is all about the new world order, right? So they don't want us to be over some kind of number. They don't want us to reproduce, right? So we all have to find a new language. They all want well, basically what they have is to have a one world religion. That's what it's all about. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Protect people and nations? People need to be protected, not the nations. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes into a world court, right? A world government. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. That's what they want. They want obedience. They want us to be fucking obedient, right? They want us to be obedient and seek harmony with the infinite? What the fuck is that? Be not a cancer to the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for the nature. Look, once again, like George Carlin said many times, you know, the planet is not going anywhere. We are going somewhere. The planet is going to be just fine after we are here, man. So forget all about this leave room for nature, man. We are the endangered species here, not the earth, man. But whatever, man. People still don't buy it, and they see all the shit. They see all this shit. Who the fuck wrote this? Why would this kind of be a monument, you know? People still don't get this stuff here, man. People still believe about conspiracy theories, but this is in plain sight. This is what they're telling that they want to do, right? So they set this in, when was that? In 1980. This monument was erected in 1980, and guess what? They're not talking about it, but it was the Freemasons. The Freemasons made this monument. You know, they're talking about an unknown benefactor or whatever. You know, where is it? To be open. There's also supposed to be a time capsule, which has not been. They haven't done that yet, so they're waiting for something, right? References, yeah, they were talking about history, description, inscriptions, guidestone language, interpretation, reference, further reading. Yeah. Additional information available at Alberton Granite Museum and Exhibit, College Avenue, Albert, Georgia. There was a benefactor, or what did they call him? Look at this, man. Yoko Ono praised the inscripted messages as a string call to rational thinking. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Yeah, I can't find the donor because there was a donor or whatever they called it, man. I can't find it right now. It was supposed to be here as well. No, yeah, but it doesn't matter. But what matters is that somebody put this into place for everybody to read, and they want people to buy this shit. That's what it's all about. They want people to buy this shit, man. They want people to buy this shit, and that's their plan. It has been their plan for a long time, and now they're closing. They're closer more than ever of fulfilling all the shit with all the shit that is going on right now, and people are still not taking a look. This is all in plain sight. All of this, it's all in plain sight. Talking about this stuff, but yeah, man. Because in 2019 there were no measures, so with the virus high infection rate, there would be thousands and thousands of dead people, and the hospitals would be run over. But somehow nothing happened. Like I said, if look, they were saying since the beginning of this, we're must be around, and like I said, you can't take these numbers serious. These 500,000 people that are supposed to be dead, you have to understand, they're falsifying the death certificates as well, right? So you don't have to have the COVID-19, but they put COVID-19 in the United States. They are incentivized to put COVID-19 as a cause of death, although it isn't. Because even if you have more underlying diseases, if you have more than one underlying diseases, they will still put it as COVID-19 cause of death. Look, I'm not bullshitting here. That's what they told the CDC. We're telling doctors that. There's a lot of videos of one doctor talking about this, that they were invited to put COVID-19 as a cause of death in the death certificate, because they were receiving more money and they were receiving more ventilators if they would put COVID-19 as a cause of death. That is the reality. Look, you can find, there are some videos and some doctors talking about this. Even the CDC, an example how to fill a death certificate with COVID-19. Everything is online. It's all a fucking lie. It's all bullshit. The tests are useless. The masks, they don't protect for nothing. But yeah, for whatever reason, people are still buying this shit. All you have to do is go outside. You see people dying. You see people sick. No, if you really see people dying, well, they have, or people sick, they have the normal underlying conditions, cancers and heart disease and lung diseases and all the stuff that is going on, man. It's part of the diseases that people have. But people are not dying because of a common cold. It's bullshit. Well, some people die of it. Yeah, like I said, in the seasonal flu, around 340 to 650,000 people die from the flu, from the common flu, every single year. So it is serious. It is serious, without no doubt. But still, to call this a pandemic, according to many other illnesses and many other causes of death, like we saw here in the world meters, it's bullshit. But whatever, man. Whatever, guys. So I rented. I rented long enough, man. But yeah, I'm really starting to get really very pissed about all this fucking situation, man. And unfortunately, there's no escape, man. They did it this time. They did it so well that all the world is in on this shit. They closed down the fucking world economy, which never happened in history before. They closed it down. They closed it down, and they fucked it up. They fucked us up. So they closed it down this time. They were able to coordinate this you know, to conspirate against us so badly that they pulled this shit out. They have been trying for years, you know, with the swine flu, the bird flu, and Zika and whatever. But this time they did it. This time they pulled the right strings, and everybody shut their economy in synchrony. Don't you think that's amazing by itself? That everyone in the world just came together and just shut the economy down, just for us to be safe at home. Okay, guys, I'm the Coin, and I'm out.